Dave here again. I wanted to say a few things about being born again, Billy Graham, and all that jazz. Town of Breckenridge back there. Really awesome scenery again. First thing I want to say is I said in my last talk that the entire Bible was written by Jewish people. That is not entirely accurate. Actually, Luke, who wrote the book of Luke and the book of Acts, was a Gentile. Super interesting that he is in the New Testament. As far as I could think, everybody else, I believe, was Jewish. And once again, to reiterate, moving forward, none of the people that wrote in the New Testament thought that there needed to be a Christianity versus Jewishness going forward. Absolutely not. If you want to be Jewish, that's fine. There is no such thing as Christianity, and there never was. In the context of floating in a culture where everything is different, like let's say Israel, where everything's Jewish, and you want to say, I actually think something different about reality, then maybe you need to make a distinction. But today, I think we're good. We're not floating in that puddle anymore. So we don't need to call ourselves anything except what is reality? That is the best question to ask. What is actually true? So clarifying that, the other thing is I talked about, you have to listen to the other episode to understand what I'm going to say here, but I talked about Nicodemus and Jesus, who were under the law. Both of them were under the law, and only Israel was under the law. So as far as their discussion about being born again, and Jesus telling Nicodemus you need to be born out from under the law into freedom, well, Gentiles were never under the law to begin with. So how do we take the passage in John 3? We read it as history. It's important to the history of how all of us got to freedom in God's family, and that's where it stays. It's not, the discussion between Nicodemus and Jesus is not applied to my individual life as a Gentile. And if I was Jewish, born in Israel, you know, whatever, to be ethnically Jewish, if that was me, then it applies that I could put myself in Nicodemus's shoes if today I still want to follow the Mosaic law, and very, very few Jews do, but some do. And if I wanted to follow the Mosaic law, I might look at the Nicodemus story and say, what does Jesus mean? What did it mean that Jesus said the law is no longer in effect? Read the book of Hebrews, addressed to me as a Hebrew if I'm Jewish. And then think about the Jesus thing. And if you don't like the Jesus thing, I don't care. I got tons of Jewish friends. They're fine. It's okay. We don't have to harp on them. We don't have to be an us versus them. Absolutely not. All that crap is garbage. I don't label myself as anything, and I'm not going to label anybody else. If they want to label themselves as something and I need to call them that, that's fine, and we can work that out. But all that stuff is ridiculous. Let's get past it as humanity, please. Thank you. Okay, I think that's all I need to say about that. As usual, if you have any questions or you want to comment, please do. Let me know you're out there, and let's talk about this stuff because I like it. I'm a huge nerd, but that's my own problem. So, Dave from the Reimagine podcast, I'll talk to you later.